If you allow yourself to satisfy your passions, they will make you the laughingstock of your enemies. The essential practice of self-control. This verse, which is found in the book of the Old Testament in the Bible entitled Sirach, in chapter 18, verse 31, it's translated in other Bible in this following way. If you allow yourself to satisfy every desire, you will be a joke to your enemies. It is an interesting maxim because it appeals to the reader to practice self-control by stating the negative consequences of living a life without restraints, seeking whatever pleasure you want whenever you want it. Basically, it says, if you don't practice self-control, you will become a joke, a laughingstock to your enemies. Okay, I may have a general understanding of self-control, meaning that a person shows a certain discipline, a control over the passions, a control over the desires we have in life. That's fine. It's the last part of this maxim, however, that I find quite interesting because it says that if you lack self-control, you will become a joke of your enemies. The joke of your enemies. Do I have any enemies? I mean, it's easy for me to identify the word enemy with those who are in complete opposition to another group, a community, or a country. I can see how I may be the member of a group or I may be the member of a country that is despised by another group or another country. That's my enemy. But Sirach, the Bible, is speaking to me as a person, not just as a member of a group. An enemy can be identified as those who actively intend to cause harm. So an enemy, it's obviously not just a group of people or an entity that seeks to the demise of another group, but rather is anyone or anything that seeks to cause harm. What the author of the book of Sirach is saying is that I can guard myself from falling victim to anyone or anything that seeks to harm me by practicing self-control. That is, by not seeking to satisfy every desire, by exercising self-control, I can protect myself from my enemies. What would this look like in life? Well, suppose your enemies are anything that tries to make you lose control. For example, maybe the enemy is the unstrained access to social media. Suppose that you keep reading and posting things on social media without thinking. Whatever comes to your mind, you read or you post. By failing to practice self-control in what you read and in what you post, you may find yourself in shame and regretting your actions. You end up looking foolish, but your enemies end up laughing at you, whether those enemies are the algorithms that foster that type of behavior, or the famous influencer, or the senseless internet challenge. Maybe you have been struggling with stress, the stress of your job, the accumulated stress of unexpected crises in life, the disappointments in life. If you allow yourself to pursue any desire, any pleasure as a way to manage the circumstances, you may find yourself overspending, developing a bad habit or an addiction. Ultimately, you will find yourself hurt. You will hurt yourself and you will hurt the people around you. Why is self-control such a powerful defense? Well, because self-control is a fruit of the Holy Spirit. You can find it in the letter of Paul to Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. The presence and the activity of the Holy Spirit leads to the manifestation of this fruit that we call self-control. And since the Holy Spirit is the third person of the Trinity, God Himself, the Holy Spirit and its fruits are more powerful than any enemy. We just celebrated Pentecost, the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. Last night, I sat in the living room here in the rectory and I opened the Bible and I found this verse which spoke to me in Sirach chapter 18, verse 31. So, this week, let's ask the Holy Spirit, a real person, to give us the ability to practice and manifest self-control, avoiding pursuing any kind of desire, and therefore avoiding to become the laughingstock of our enemies. This is what I suggest. First, this week, ask yourself, in which areas of my life currently do I show a lack of self-control? And you got to be honest with yourself. In fact, ask the Holy Spirit to show you the areas in your life in which you currently lack self-control. Okay. Then, second, ask the Holy Spirit to assist you by giving you the virtue of temperance. Temperance is a virtue that God gives us that allows us to manage, control properly our passions, our appetites, our desires. And then finally, begin to practice this week moments of silence, because the Holy Spirit is a spirit of peace, not a spirit of agitation and noise. It is in silence that we can sense how the Holy Spirit is advocating, how He's guiding us, showing us those specific moments in which now the Holy Spirit is prompting me to practice self-control, whether it is in my family, at work, online, in school, in college, everywhere I go.